Hey guys, Inside Junkie here, and today we're going to talk about money. And more specifically, I'm going to show you some of the key points in Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Now, this book has pretty much become a classic in the money-making world, and a lot of people have strong opinions about it. Some people say that it's one of the best books that they've read about money, and other people dislike the book because they felt that it lacked details. Whatever the case may be, in this video I will give you the golden nuggets that I took away from this book. Whether or not you like Robert Kiyosaki, I would recommend at least reading the book once to figure it out for yourself. So the premise of this book is that Robert Kiyosaki, metaphorically speaking, had two dads. One was poor, which was his own biological father, and the other was his friend's dad, one of the richest men in Hawaii. The point of the book was, most of us receive financial education from people who aren't financially stable themselves. I see this a lot in the real world. Poor people give out their financial advice like they actually know what they're talking about. Here's the bottom line. If you listen to someone who makes $40,000 a year, then his advice will only be worth that much. And if you listen to someone who makes $1 million a year, then obviously his advice will be worth much more. Kiyosaki was fortunate enough to have both kinds of people in his life. So he is able to tell us what is the biggest difference in the way rich people and poor people live and think. The biggest lesson in this book is that rich people have assets and poor people have liabilities. For the sake of simplicity, an asset is something that brings money in your pocket and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. The rich buy assets and the poor only have expenses. And the middle class buy liabilities thinking that they're assets. Here's an example. An uncle of mine recently bought a flat, and every month he would be paying a maintenance fee just to keep that flat up and running. But the thing is, the flat was completely empty and no one was living inside it. So he was just losing money pointlessly, and that is a liability. Soon when he realized that he was losing money, he put the apartment up for rent, and then he was getting a net positive from the flat. So he converted his flat from a liability to an asset. It's very tempting to buy liabilities. A shiny new car is a liability because it will suck a lot of money out of your pocket and because it won't make you any money in return. A new phone will also be a liability. Now, of course, we cannot remove all our expenses and liabilities, but our aim should be to minimize liabilities and maximize our assets. Assets are getting easier to create in the world of technology nowadays. If you write a book, then it's an asset. An app that makes you money is an asset. Even a YouTube channel is an asset. Maximize the number of these assets that you have in your life, and you will be well on your way to becoming rich. The second lesson that I took from the book was that the rich don't work for money. Money works for them. If you want to become rich, you have to learn how to leverage the power of money. Poor and middle class people keep working for their money. They only make money as long as they put in the time, and when they stop doing that, they stop making money. Rich people have learned how to make the money they earn work for them, so that they in turn make more money. A lot of people like to just save their money because it's safer that way. But if you don't invest it somewhere, you're always going to be working for money. Rich people use their money to buy money-making assets like existing businesses, software, stocks, etc. Now, you don't have to have millions of dollars to make use of this principle. You can even use it at a micro scale. You can buy a bicycle and start renting it on an hourly basis. Over the course of a few weeks, the bike will recover its initial cost and you will be making a net positive, thereby making your money work for you. Using money to create more money is the one skill that is guaranteed to help you get to the top. The third lesson you need to know is the power of corporations. You see, to promote smaller businesses and to create more jobs, governments around the world support businesses by giving them tax benefits. This is one of the key ways in which companies are able to save a lot of money. Let's say you earn $5,000. Now let's say the government takes a significant chunk of that as tax, around $1,500. So now you're only left with $3,500 of your own money. However, if you could earn the same $5,000 as a corporation, then you could use that $1,500 before giving it to the government for the growth of your business. And that is pretty much up to interpretation. Some people even travel to exotic locations and call it business trips and don't pay the tax on that money. This is all perfectly legal, and even though this is an oversimplification, corporations have distinct advantages with regards to paying the taxes. And you don't necessarily have to have a huge number of people to form a company. In the US, you can register a company on your own with just $100. And the last lesson from this book is to acquire as many skills as you can. At the end of the day, the more skills and knowledge you have, the more money you're going to make. And it's very important that you have practical real world knowledge and not just something that you read in a textbook. This is why Robert tells us in the book that we should work to learn instead of just working for money. Once you have enough skills and knowledge, money will be an obvious byproduct. However, the younger you are and the more leverage you can create by investing yourself, the faster you can go to the top. If you don't have the opportunity to work to learn, just start something on your own. Just look at what I did with this YouTube channel. I had no idea how to start a YouTube channel, but I just started. I stumbled my way through and made a lot of mistakes. But now I know a lot more about animating videos, internet marketing, talking into a mic, etc. than I ever did before. Now, one last thing. I don't think the point of this book is to get you to give up all luxury in life. You don't need to stop buying the gadgets you like or not get a new car. But I think that there is one clear distinction that we need to pay attention to. Poor people buy luxury with money they earn, middle class people buy luxury with money they save, and rich people buy luxury with their return on investments. So feel free to buy a huge liability like an amazing sports car, but only do it with your return on investments. That's all for this video. I highly recommend that you read this book and apply the lessons into your life. If you enjoyed the video, then please click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.